Okay, so we got that recorder going. Now we're going to do our typical sound check. So you guys know the drill. Just let me know in that chat box, upper right-hand corner of your screen. Let me know if that audio is coming through loud and clear for you or not. Let's get some yays and nays there. See how that sounds. Make sure I'm not talking to myself. All right, getting some goods, got some yays. David gave me a yay, yay, yay. All right, I got a little boom from Steve. All good, good, okay, good, sounds good. All right, I'm guessing by this feedback that it's good. All right, folks, so what you're seeing on your screen here, let me just give you a quick rundown what you're looking at here. Now, for those of you that need to get a little bit caught up, we set something up for you this morning. If you go to loanofficermarketinglab.com/blog, let me pull that up on my screen for you here. Okay, so it's the very first blog post showing up here at loanofficermarketinglab.com/blog, and when you click here, here's your replays, session number 1. Session number 2. Now, session number 2 also has all of the worksheets, including the marketing plan template that we talked about in Tuesday's session number 2. So this is where you can download. In fact, let's go ahead and click on that. If you didn't get a chance to download the template yet for your marketing plan, just scroll all the way down here. Now, I have just a quick 3.5-minute video here that walks you through the documents, but here they are. Your expectations document, ordinary document, leverage, I promise, have a better week, and then your marketing plan template. Okay, these are all Word documents, so just simply come over here, click on them to download them. They're ready to use. Okay, replays at the top, and then the Marketing Accelerator programs right here underneath that video. And then let's shoot back over here. And then we were talking about marketing automation, all that fun stuff, so I have some extra links here for you guys for those of you that wish to participate in that. So that should make it easy for you to find everything that you need in a single blog post. Again, that's loanofficermarketinglab.com/blog. Okay? All right, perfect. Okay, so let me get back to my slides here, and we are ready to rock and roll. So let me hear from you guys here in the chat box. Let me know how many of you guys have already downloaded the template and have begun the process of creating your own marketing plan based on the first 2 sessions. And how many of you guys have downloaded the accountability documents and started working on that? Okay, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it looks like about a quarter of individuals have already gotten started on their marketing plan. So that's good. So for those of you who have not, loanofficermarketinglab.com/blog, and that'll get you all caught up. Okay? Perfect. So let's get rocking and rolling. The first thing we're going to do is same as last time, guys. Let's just do a really brief recap of what we've covered so far. So we started off talking about your litmus test document and filling that out to help identify where your weaknesses are versus where your strengths are, and start looking at yourself as the product, because it is you who are the differentiator. It is you who has the capability to take your business to the next level. No one else. All right? So taking a look and being upfront about the strengths versus weaknesses is something that must be done. We cannot skip this step. Next, we took a look at a sample flow chart, and I showed you guys an example of just how detailed we need to be with our business plans. That flow chart kind of shows you guys in a mind map format where you need to be each step of the way, what happens every step of the way, how you react to each outcome. Next, we discussed examples. We actually looked at some examples of BAIT, looking at it from the angle of marketing to realtors, though it can be applied to anything, going direct to the consumer, purchase transactions, refi transactions, direct mail, doesn't matter. We simply used realtors as an example because that was the turning point for me in my business. Okay, so how to start off your funnels. Next, we took a look at some sample marketing plan documents. We did that on Tuesday. That's the Word document template, and then the downloadable accountability documents. So that's where we left off on Tuesday. Okay? That's where we kind of wrapped things up, and now we're going to pick up where we left off. So again, if any of this looks like, hey, maybe I missed that, then just head on over to the blog, and we have the replays already embedded on the most recent blog post. Okay? Make sense? Excellent. So let's go ahead and get started here today. Let me get my slides ready, and we're going to talk about how to put things into practice. So we're actually going to start tying everything together in today's call. So I'm actually going to show you guys the actual step-by-step flow of my marketing plan. I'm going to show you how to start putting things into action, and then how to start leveraging and follow up and creating a true, actual, functional sales funnel and marketing funnel. Okay, this is where the rubber meets the road, and we separate ourselves from the ordinary loan officers, right? So everybody here, I'm assuming you're all extraordinary loan officers because you're looking at what you can do to make things better. So we're not looking for a shortcut. We're looking for, hey, what do I have to do to roll my sleeves up and actually make some awesome things happen this year? Okay? All right, so let's talk about putting things into practice here. Now, there's a big question that I like to ask myself whenever I'm getting something started. I don't know if we have any like Anthony Robbins or Tony Robbins fans in here, but you guys know the big question that Tony Robbins always asks himself, or says that we need to be asking ourselves. And what's his big claim to fame? It's that our outcome is only as strong as the questions that we ask ourselves. You know, when we ask ourselves the tough and high-level questions and force an answer, then we come up with better answers than your typical individual, right? We come up with better outcomes because we're asking the questions nobody else asks. So we need to ask ourselves the big question, and that is, how do I plan on kicking off my marketing plan, my sales funnels, my marketing funnels? In other words, what is the entry to my funnel? Okay, let me give you an example. Okay, we're going to use the realtors as an example again. I'm just going to keep with that theme since we've been doing that on all of the calls thus far. And here's what we came up with last go-round, guys. Okay, we talked about how to kick off a sales plan or a sales funnel, and am I going to capture these prospects and actually start putting them into my sales funnel. And that was, number one, I was using a combination of YouTube for SEO videos. I was using opt-in forms to capture the leads and then funnel them into my CRM and automation software, my autoresponder. Okay, had a video player that had built-in lead capture elements, and then I was using the heat maps and the magazine combination. And I used all of those as entries into my funnel. So no matter which leg of my marketing I was implementing, I already knew how each one led to the next level. Okay, let's take a look at that. Let's get into more detail on that, so that way we're not skipping over anything here. Here's what I'm going to do. Let me open up a Microsoft Word document. Let me zoom it in real quick. Pop that up to size 14 font. There we go. Okay, so here's how we do it. So I started off with magazine. All right, now the magazine, for those of you wondering, here it is. This was the magazine that we talked about using as bait to lure realtors into the front door. In other words, contacting the real estate agent saying, look, I need to interview somebody to feature in my next issue, in my February issue or my March issue. I need some high-quality agents to interview. I would like to feature you in that next issue. What do you say? And that's our door opener, okay? So when I'm asking myself, how am I going to insert folks into my funnel, I start off with, well, what's my first bait? Bait number one was my magazine, right? So what's my lead capture mechanism? Well, it's going to be kind of old-fashioned on this one in that I'm probably going to use the phone to contact agents. I'm going to use email to contact agents, but I'm going to send them over to my website throughout this process. Okay, because I'm going to tell them, hey, if you want to see a sample issue or sample copy of my most recent issue, go to my website. And when they go to my website, I have a tracking code on that website that tells me when they visited. Boom, I got them because I know who they are. Because I just asked somebody to go visit my website and check it out. I just got a notification in my email telling me they went there. I dropped a cookie on them, so now I can run ads to that realtor whenever I want because I know who they are. That's the entry into my funnel. Because now I just go back to my CRM software and boom. Okay, agent number 1 said yes to interview plus visited website plus, and I just start putting my notes out here. Okay, so very simple, very old-fashioned funnel minus the website tracking. But see, I have to get really specific. Otherwise, we got a big hole in our marketing plan, don't we? So now I just go down the list and go, okay, what was my other bait? Oh, yeah, that's right. I was going to use my heat map software as bait number 2, right? Okay, so what am I going to use as bait? Or what? How are they going to enter into my funnel? Well, I'm going to use the phone sometimes, but I'm also going to use email. I'm also going to use the Contact Us forms on social media accounts, such as LinkedIn, ActiveRain, and so forth. Okay, but most importantly, I'm going to string this as a connector to my magazine, meaning what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, once I get that interview with them, once I get them to sit down and allow me to interview them, I'm going to use that conversation, go, oh, by the way, and show it off to them then. So it doesn't become a separate marketing strategy. It's all built into the same thing. I'm leveraging my time. While I have them on the phone or have them in front of me being interviewed, I tap into the law of reciprocity and say, hey, I'm going to take this opportunity to show off a little bit and show them some really cool software, blow them out of the water to where they want to see more. They want to meet with me even longer. They got 1,000,001 questions for me, and I'm going to tie myself to them. Right? So this can also be an entry into my funnel. The video SEO strategy. I do the same thing, the same process. Do you see how we do that? We just take all of the bait that we have, whether you're targeting FSBOs, purchase leads, VA loans, FHA, first-time home buyers, luxury buyers, doesn't matter, guys. You go through the same process. It's just a simple document. You don't even need a template for this. You saw I just created one on the fly, Microsoft Word. Just give yourself a headline, and you got your bullet points. Well, what are you going to use to reach out to the people? Boom, boom, boom. And always have more than one option. So sometimes I'm going to use the phone. If I'm too busy to use the phone, I'll blast out emails. If that's not working for me, then I use the Contact Us forms on social media profiles because we know that they get opened at an almost 90% ratio or rate. Super simple. Okay, make sense? Excellent, excellent. All right, so let's go back here real quick. Just a second there, going back to our slides. Okay, so ultimately, folks, here's what I want you to do. I want you guys to pay very close attention to your lead capture. Okay. In fact, if you recall, one of the things I mentioned when you're filling out your marketing plan template, to put in there, what are you going to spend time learning and becoming an expert at this year? And my recommendation, I hate to give people the answers or tell them, hey, you need to do this or you need to do that because you have the capability to analyze and you know better than anybody what your strengths versus weaknesses are. But for those of you that maybe need a push in the right direction, let me tell you, become an expert at capturing leads because here's the deal, guys. I've yet to meet somebody who's a true expert at capturing leads that was broke because it's a transferable skill. It's a transferable skill. That applies no matter who you're targeting or what business you're in. And you become in demand. Now the realtors, when they see that you're rocking awesome at capturing leads, guess what? Now, instead of treating you like every other loan officer, you become a very, very valuable commodity to them, right? And the same applies to businesses. You have your pick of who you work for because, hey, who doesn't want an expert-level lead generator on staff? It doesn't matter whether you're in the mortgage industry, real estate industry, marketing online. I don't care. If you're great at capturing leads, chances are you have yourself you can write your own ticket, right? So let's talk about tools. What are we going to use to get us there? We're going to go into more detail today. We talked about heat map software. We talked about opt-in forms, video players, and using YouTube, and then wielding an autoresponder or tracking database software, and then, of course, your magazine template for interviewing the agents. So how do we put those things into use? Well, I'm going to actually show you guys how we put this into practice in just a moment. I'm going to show you an example here. Okay, so I mentioned to you guys that I was using some video lead capture software, and I didn't really have an opportunity to show it to you guys on Tuesday's call, so I'm going to show it to you here today. Now, let me paint the picture for you how this marketing works, okay? I contact realtors and let them know that I have the capability to turn their listings, with just a couple of pictures, I can turn their listings into beautiful videos that are going to get to the top of YouTube whenever somebody's searching for homes for sale, and get double, triple, and quadruple the amount of views that they're getting now on their listings. And by the way, I'm not going to charge anything for this, Mr. and Mrs. Real Estate Agent. Would you like to see an example? Oh, they would? Awesome. So you're going to find that most agents say, yes, yes, I'd like to work with you on this, because you're not requiring anything from them other than their permission to use their pictures of their listings as bait. So now I have their permission to use a backdoor approach to capture leads for myself, because I don't sell homes. And we know that people are much more likely to want to go and look at pictures and videos of homes than they are to talk to a loan officer and talk about RESPA and what this means and what this TIL means and a GFE and all this other stuff. That's not fun. They find that boring. But what's not boring to them is looking at beautiful homes, imagining which one's going to be theirs. So I could capture a whole heck of a lot more leads if I work hand in hand with a real estate agent on this, okay? So what I do is it takes me about 3 or 4 minutes to turn their listings into a video by using YouTube. YouTube has a built-in slideshow video creator, right? It's free to use. So what I do, though, is instead of just putting this on YouTube, I come over here and I use this software, and I paste the video right here, give it a name. I paste the link to the YouTube video, click Get Video, and I come down here and I say I want to build in a call to action. After 7 seconds, I want it to shut down the video and this flow across the screen, and then it's going to ask them to click on something, right? So in other words, if they want to see the rest of the home, or if I want to give them an awesome financing option or something, they're going to have to click here. Lead capture, guys. So watch this. Let me string this into a full-blown 360-degree marketing strategy for you in about just a couple of seconds. Just a second. Almost done. That's how quick it is. I can actually do this thing live. Okay, about 20 more seconds, and then I'm done. And then we're ready to actually see this thing in action. Check this out. This is going to be really, really awesome. Okay, so I'm done. Now all I have to do is grab this little code. It just popped out to me, and I'm using WordPress, by the way. Okay, so I'm just going to go over and make a new blog post. Paste it onto my screen. I'm going to call this demo. Save it as a draft. Now let's preview and let's watch this thing at work. And so you can see how a true funnel should work. Okay, so I come in here, and there you go. Okay, so I have this video player on my website. So I set aside a page on my blog or on my website for listings, for homes for sale. And I do that for 2 reasons. Number one, it's awesome for SEO. So next thing you know, give it a month or 2 and play your cards right, and you can start showing up on the front page of the search engines when people start looking for homes for sale. Well, all those people looking for homes, most of them need loans, right? So it'll bring you right over here to all these listings, and there's videos and pictures and all these things they can click on. The more they click, the better you're doing. So they click to watch this. So here we go. Boom. So I can program this player, even though the video's from YouTube, I've done a couple of things. Number one, I've blocked them out from viewing this on YouTube. Why? Because YouTube sucks away all your traffic. If they click on it and go to YouTube, next thing you know, they're going to see all your competitors and other things to click on. I want them to stay on my website for SEO purposes, and because the longer they stay on my website, the more they're going, oh, well, what's this? Let me click here. Oh, let me read this article. Oh, let me read this blog post. Let me look at this home. So I keep them on my site. But what the software allowed me to do was I can turn this into text, I can turn this into an image, I can turn this into a lead capture form, I can turn it into whatever I want. But it stops here and says, oh, would you like to see how you can get into this home with no money down? Click here now. Boom. I click here now, and it brings them to a landing page. Oh, no down payment? Yes, you really can get your next home with no down payment. Fast answers with no personal info required. Where should we send it, or where should we email the info? So I can they put their name in here. Now this is just a dummy page that I just set up. Boom. Oh, okay. So, all right, before you provide the most accurate info possible, I just need to know a bit more about what you're looking for. I'm going to buy in the $300,000 to $400,000 range. I'm buying in the next 30 to 60 days. And here's my phone number. Okay, send me the answers now. Okay, great. In the meantime, here's some details you can find useful, or you may find useful. My name is Chad Weber. I'm available at this email address. I'm available by phone. We'll be in touch in 24 hours. Expect a call to confirm your info. So it just walked them through a full-blown funnel. All right, I took them from point of origination at a web page, engaged them by getting them to click to look at a picture of a beautiful home, and then made a financing option that they can click to either skip it or they can click to go straight to my landing page. It's about 50-50. You'll see half of them click to just ignore it, and the other half click and go, yeah, I'd like to find out about that. Or it could say something different, like, oh, is this not the perfect home for you? Well, then click here to see hundreds more. Or click here to tell us exactly what you're looking for, and for free, you will get lists of homes emailed to you every single week. No obligation, nothing. Now, I can put the timer in there for this little pop-up to appear at the beginning of the call or at the beginning of the video, at the end of the video, in the middle of the video. I put it on a timer. I just told it to pop up at 7 seconds just so you guys didn't have to sit around waiting forever to see it. But do you see how we basically strung this together? And all of this was designed originally on a piece of paper, just like we showed you this little flow chart, if you guys remember, on call number 1. Remember this flow chart where I showed you? This is how the strategy was devised. As we sat down and we, instead of opt-in form here, it said video. Okay? So once I knew video, okay, so what happens next? Oh, okay, I need them to click. When they click, they're going to go to my landing page. Do they click on it, yes or no? If it's no, then I drop a cookie on them, and it doesn't matter because now they're going to see my ads for the next 6 months wherever they go online. So I still have a means of getting in front of them. But if they click yes, meaning they give me their information, boom, take them to the next step and the next step. And this is where most loan officers view this as way too much work. Oh, I got it all in my head. Really? How many folks have put this much thought into their strategy? This is what separates mediocre results from extraordinary results. Because then, once I have my bait, in this case, videos of homes for sale, that's when I can start doing these little arrows over here and saying, okay, now that I know what the bait is, where's the traffic going to come from? Where are the potential home buyers going to come from? Well, some of them are going to come from SEO. Some of them are going to come straight from YouTube. Some of them are going to come from, if I run paid traffic on Facebook, some of them are going to come from, et cetera, et cetera. So I just go down the list and say, well, how can I drive traffic now that I know what the bait is? So do you see how that works? So yes, this is for those of you that signed up for as one of the 25 individuals for the Marketing Accelerator program that begins on February 1st. This is also one of the softwares that you get, is this video software. And it does like 20, 30 more things. This is just a little teeny tiny example of what it does. But yes, you're going to get this software at no charge as part of your package. Okay, so you'll be able to do exactly what I just showed you here. And it works, and it works very, very well. Okay? So yes. Awesome. So Bruce says, Chad, my motto is fun is in the homes, not the loans. I like your motto, Bruce. He's exactly right. Okay, so let's go back to the slides here. Okay. And if you guys have any questions, feel free. This is interactive. Okay. Absolutely. Let me go back to my slides. Okay, here we are. Okay, so we talked about heat map, opt-in forms, video players, YouTube, autoresponder. So I just showed you an example of how to put opt-in forms and a video player and YouTube. Do you see how I took these three tools and I tied them together, right? And the funny thing is these are three tools that I was going to use to target realtors, but you see how I also repurposed them to also target potential home buyers. This is what I was talking about in session number 2, where I kept bringing up you need to make your marketing do double duty. If you don't want to be overwhelmed, then look at every tool that you have and say, well, how else can I use this so that I'm not just putting all my eggs in one basket? Well, I'm using YouTube to target realtors. I'm using my video players to target realtors. I'm using opt-in forms and my heat map to target realtors. But guess what? Everybody that I drive to my website from the YouTube strategy I just showed you to target home buyers, my heat map software is also going to come into play and tell me what they're looking at, which homes and what they're clicking at, and which videos are they looking at, and where are they scrolling. So now my heat map isn't just serving realtors, it's also serving my website too. So that's doing double duty. My opt-in forms on my landing page I just showed you is doing double duty. Video players doing double duty. YouTube's doing double duty. What else? Well, how about this? Autoresponder and tracking. See, here's where things get really, really, really fun. Okay, this is where you become pretty much a scientist. And how many of you guys like the idea of being a marketing scientist, that you can actually have very straightforward data to look at that tells you how everything's going to play out and put it in a way that it's going to perform like a, what do we say, an assembly line? That's what we're talking about? Well, check this out. I showed you heat map software, but the other thing that I can do is every time that somebody hits my website, every time they go here, now I don't care what they do. If they click on one of my ads on the sidebar, they view a video, they go to a page, or they go to my home page and they view a blog post, I don't care where they go, I'm dropping cookies and I'm getting notifiers. Let me show you what I mean. Okay? So we talked about, and I gave you guys a link to my mortgage lead machine. This is like a miniature CRM / email marketing / marketing automation software. And with this software, I come in here and I click on my apps and I say, okay, I want to do site and event tracking. So I grab this little teeny tiny script right here, I copy it, and I paste it on my website. It takes about 10 to 15 seconds. Once I've done that, every single person that comes to my website from now on, it's going to drop a cookie and track them so that I can remarket to them. It will show me notifiers of everything that person did on my website. How cool is that? So now I come in here under automations, and I click to edit my automations. So let's say I wanted to come in here. And remember how I was showing you guys that your marketing needs to look like a flow chart or like a funnel? Well, here we go. It's a visual funnel where I just click here every step of the way, and I say every time somebody does this, I want this to happen. So I can have a text message sent to them when they're looking at a bunch of properties. Like let's say I'm targeting purchase transactions, okay? Well, what does it mean to you? What does it say to you if you just got a notification saying this person just went to your website and clicked on 13 different homes and spent 19 minutes on your website and watched 6 video walkthroughs of homes? Is that a hot lead or a cold lead? What's a hot lead? So I can tell my software here, okay, anytime somebody does that, anytime you observe that behavior, I want you to send a notification to me. Email me and tell me, hey, Chad, you got a really hot lead. You had these 9 people today that just spent X amount of time on your website and clicked on this link and clicked on that link and clicked on that link and so forth. Awesome. Now I know who to follow up with. Or maybe send them a text message, or maybe send them an email, or move them up into my sales funnel, or have a series of emails about how to pick the right home emailed out to them now that I know they're serious about looking, or financing. Oh, I see you're looking at homes. Did you know you can get into a home for minimal out-of-pocket? See, it's all automated based on their behavior. So I build the behavior-based tracking right in the beginning using this visual interface. So it's not a bunch of words, it's an actual visual interface, so I can see exactly what my funnel looks like and the timers that my emails go out. And I don't just do this to one person, as you can see here. I have one funnel set up for sale by owners. I have another for individuals with credit problems. I have another set up for general purchase. I have another for people who've taken a loan application for me. I have another set up for those who have already closed, and I'm going to have emails going out asking for referrals, et cetera, et cetera. So this is how we turn our prospects into closings at a very high level, right? So again, I show you this to illustrate how we differentiate ourselves from the average loan officer, from the ordinary loan officer. Do you, yes or no? Let me hear from you guys. What percentage of loan officers do you think actually put this much thought into their marketing? What percentage, if you just had to guess, just out of thin air? Okay, Jackie said no one. Okay, so I get a 1% from David, 1% or less from Annie, 2% from Colette, 2% from Doug, 0.125 from Crystal, no one again from David, 2% from Kristen, 0 from Lori, 5% from the other Lori. Exactly. I have 10%. So that's the most optimistic one right there. I got 1%, 10%. What do you think stops them from doing it? Looks like a whole lot of work, doesn't it? But here's the thing, is you're going to do the work one way or another, because here's the thing, is if you don't do the work up front, you're going to work that much harder to get each closing, because then you need a much higher percentage of leads. So now you have to work your butt off and spend more money because you're closing at a lower percentage because they're not flowing through like an assembly line. It's not efficient. So you end up working harder anyway. So why not do the legwork up front? And then it becomes easier and easier as you go along. And then all you have to do is focus on feeding the machine at that point. Just fill the funnel. The funnel will take care of converting and warming them up and sending you notifiers and reports and all that cool stuff, if you will. Set it and forget it. You got it, Mark. And yeah, you're right. I get a lot of people say, well, they don't know how. Yeah, and that's why we created this software here. That's why we put all this together, is because it makes it a lot easier. You know, when you have a visual interface like this, and you could track your deals, your lists, your applications, pull reports, see who's doing what, how many emails they've opened, who your hottest prospects are. Pretty powerful stuff. But that's the level of thought that needs to go into the marketing up front. Now, we also talked about YouTube. Okay, YouTube's another tool that everybody should have in their funnel. If you don't have a YouTube account set up, guys, get one set up. Get one set up. Let me show you guys something really cool that YouTube does. And the beautiful thing is YouTube's free. So check this out. Let me just head on over to YouTube. So I mentioned to you guys that YouTube has a built-in video creator. I click the upload button. What do you see over here on the right-hand side of the screen? How many of you guys see what I see? You see it? Photo slideshow creator. So all I need is a couple pictures from a realtor. I click this create button, and I have free tools to create a slideshow video. So there's no excuse not to be in touch with realtors using this type of an approach, because here's what's going to happen, guys. It's going to blow them away that there's a loan officer out there actually doing this stuff. To them, it looks like you spent about an hour on creating this thing, when the reality is you just used the tools on YouTube. It took you about 4 minutes. I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 if you're new. But once you get used to it, it'll take you 3 or 4 minutes to hammer it out. So shouldn't that be on your goal sheet? Right? Okay, I see a bunch of people asking what's the name of the software. Is mortgageleadmachine.com is the name of the software I was just showing you guys. Okay? So famous saying right here, guys, written in the late 1800s, world famous marketer. I know half of my marketing doesn't work. I just don't know which half. Now, doesn't that suck to think about the fact that, you know what, half of what I'm doing doesn't work. I mean, that's just downright depressing. I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool that at least half of it is working when you know that probably 90% of most folks' marketing isn't working, but still, to know that half of your efforts just aren't really producing, not fun. Now, again, this was written in the late 1800s. Nowadays, we know exactly which half is working and which isn't because we have tools like Mortgage Lead Machine, even things like Google Analytics. You have all these things out there that show you and capture and tell you statistics, how many people, how long, which pages. You got your heat map software telling you which pages are they looking at, how long did they look at it, where did they scroll, what did they look at, what do they see. So now we know exactly what's working and what's not. So the way to go from being where you're at now to being high-level producer, doubling or tripling income in just a matter of months instead of a matter of years like most people are used to, is by paying attention to what those statistics are showing you. When you track, then you can trim the fat. Because what happens when you cut away that 50% of what you're doing that doesn't work? Well, you just freed up 50% of your time, 50% of the money that you're investing in that stuff that really wasn't paying off. So that leaves more time and more funds to invest in what does work. And that's why, if I sound like a broken record when I keep saying tracking, 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 that's why I've been making a big deal out of the heat map software and now Mortgage Lead Machine, those types of things. Even if you don't use my stuff, guys, use something. Yeah, I'd be stoked if you use my stuff, right? But I'm here to help you, so even if you don't, use something. Do something to track, right? At least learn how to use Google Analytics at the bare minimum so that you can cut away the stuff that's not working, okay? All right. So really the general idea of this stage in your marketing plan is what we're after is behaviors. Behaviors are what identify people as prospects, as good prospects or cold. See, for example, with Mortgage Lead Machine, one of the things that I can do is I can tell it, hey, if I can put negative tracking in there. Anybody know what negative tracking is? Anybody? Anybody? Negative tracking? Anybody heard that terminology before? Negative tracking is when I can tell the system to not just track and tell me what people are doing, it'll tell me what they're not doing. So we're talking about behaviors right now. Well, what if I could find out people who, for example, are in my home shopping folder. Let's say I've captured 1,000 leads this past year of people who are shopping for homes. And let's say 400 of them have not gone to my website to click at any of the pictures of the homes I've been sending them each week, nor have they gone to my website at all, nor are they opening up my emails. Well, guess what that tells me? That's what we call negative behavior. So that means that either A, they're no longer interested, or B, I'm not connecting with them. Now, what would an ordinary loan officer do in that circumstance? Oh, not worth my time. Well, since we have automation, they are worth your time because you know what? What we found is usually about 25 to 30% of those people are still very interested. It's just our message has a disconnect in it. You know, either we're not reaching them or we're just not saying the right things. So I tell the system, hey, if they have not gone to my website in the past 60 days and they've ignored all of my emails, then put them in my warm-up folder. Well, guess what my warm-up folder does? My warm-up folder sends them things that are more interesting and intriguing. I might send them infographics and videos or funny things that I found online, things that will at least get them to open. Because then when they open, they can end up on my website again and they go, oh, yeah, I remember this guy. It doesn't take any of my time. Once it's set up, it's automated, so why not? If I can reclaim 25 to 30% of those people, then I drop a new cookie on them that lasts for 6 months. When I drop that cookie, that's when the retargeting begins. When they go to their Facebook account or Twitter account or Google, they start seeing my ads on the sidebar saying, hey, if you're shopping for a home, here's some, before you buy a home in St. Louis, here's 5 things you need to know about the local market. Don't buy a home until you've seen this report. Okay, or maybe I send them over to a single property website that says, hey, here's this absolutely gorgeous home for sale. Sellers are eager to sell and considering all reasonable offers. Go check it out. Boom, so it sends them over to a page like this. They're going to see these pictures of the home. Say, okay, click here to find out if you qualify for a no down payment program, or click here to learn more about this home, or click here to watch a video of the home. I don't care. You have all sorts of different calls to actions you can put here, but I get them to this page. See how that works? Again, I'm not letting my leads slip through the cracks. Instead, I log into my system, and I start taking a look at all the different landing pages I can deploy, and boom. All right? So now I can craft my message. You know, do I maybe they're having trouble with their house hunting, or do I want to offer them a foreclosure list, Dream Home Finder, distressed homes list? Hey, get your credit pulled. Oh, maybe I'm going after VA loans. How much home can you afford? Are you a FSBO? Right? I have all these different programs I can deploy to them, so why wouldn't I? Here's your mortgage market report card, home loan shoppers. But the important thing is don't ignore them. Don't let them just sit there in your database going cold, like most people would. But it's the tracking that helps you delineate who's a warm lead and who's gone cold, so that now you can decide what to do about it. Remember in session number 1, when I kept repeating that marketing is all about targeting their behavior and then reacting to it. You react to their reactions. And if their reaction is nothing, then we know something's wrong, so we really need to step up our game with different messages until we find the right message. Otherwise, they're going to slip through the cracks and, well, they end up in somebody else's pipeline. Okay? So we can recoup a lot of these leads through negative targeting. Okay? So that's what tracking allows you to do. Okay? All right. So what we really need to figure out then, if we're implementing a plan such as this, is we need to figure out what is the buy cycle of your prospects. Now, let me get your guys' opinions here. In the purchase market, in the world of purchases, what would you say the buy cycle is? How long does somebody sit in your pipeline or in your database before they buy? What would you say a typical person, how quickly they go from, yeah, I'm thinking about buying a home, to, okay, yes, I'm ready to sign a contract? What would you say that buy cycle? So Bruce says five months. Jackie says between 2 to 6 months. David says 3. Ryan says 2 to 3 months. 3 to 6 months. Pat, okay. 120 days. Miriam, 6 to 12 months. David, okay. All right, so 5 to 7 months, 6 to 9. Yeah, you got it. You got it. So exactly. You guys are pretty much right there in that range, depending on what part of the country you're in, but it's rarely just 30 days, and we know that. So once we've identified that buy cycle, that's when we know, hey, I need to be in the right place at the right time. How many of you guys saw that HUD study that they've done every couple of years that talks about what percentage of people go with this, their original loan officer when it's time to either refi or buy another home? How many of you guys have seen that report? It comes out every couple of years. And usually what's that one reason that why people say that they go with a different loan officer than their original loan officer that they closed their original transaction with? When more of them are saying that they were satisfied with their original loan officer than dissatisfied, why did the bulk of them go with a completely different loan officer the second time? Exactly, David said, because they can't remember who the heck they are. They don't remember the loan officer. And that's horrible. I mean, doesn't that stink to just think, well, I've lost all this business just because they didn't remember my name? You know, it's not their commission, so they don't care enough to go online and look you up. Because some of them do, but the average client, I'm sure you'll agree, since it's not their money, they're just going to go with, well, yeah, I don't remember who it was, and I don't know what company it is, so I'll just, put the feelers out, and whoever's the first person to wow me or give me a good deal, that's who I'm going with. Well, the bulk of those folks also said that they would have gone with their original loan officer if they could have remembered them. So buy cycle, the same thing applies to new clients as to old. So we identify what is the length of time for that buy cycle, and then we decide what do we need to do to get them from dipping their toe in the water to, hey, I need you, making sure that we're in front of them when they get to the, hey, I need you point. And that's why when I showed you that dashboard of what my sales funnel looks like, that's why it was so long, is because I need to make sure that I have enough content in front of them that when they get to that, hey, I need you time point, that I'm the person that they need. I'm the person that they remember. And you can bet that if they're getting emails from me, at least 2 or 3 emails a week, and I'm going to slip in some funny and hilarious things, maybe some viral videos or something in there. So I'm going to intermingle good and useful and professional information with some kind of ha-ha, yeah, that's kind of funny type information as well. And since I'm dropping cookies on them and making sure they see my ads when they go to their Facebook account and their Google and their Twitter or wherever they're going online, they're not going to forget me because I'm going to slap my picture on there and my name and my phone number, so that at least a couple of times a month they're going to see me this month, next month, the next month. So whether that buy cycle is 60 days or 12 months, they're going to remember me, right? I'm not going to let them forget. So again, do you see how just doing something as simple as plugging this hole, stop letting people slip through the cracks, how that can boost your income if you're closing more transactions because fewer people forget? Then I don't have to generate as many leads because I'm closing more with what I already have just by plugging that hole right there. So can you see how that's an important part of your marketing plan? So when I talked about the 4 legs of your marketing plan, we don't just look at obtaining new business, but we also have to address how am I going to lose fewer transactions this year? Do we ask ourselves that question? Well, here's how I'm going to do it, is I'm going to automate my follow-up, and I'm going to make sure I have 6 months of content. And that's where a lot of people roll their eyes and go, oh, good Lord, I don't want to have to come up with 6 months of content. That's why we give you a lot of done-for-you content in Mortgage Lead Machine. But even if you're not using our system, guys, content's not that difficult to find. You know what I do? I go around and take a look at what are the other people saying. What are the magazines? What are the real estate magazines and publications for purchasers? What sort of topics are they covering? I'm not going to steal their content, no way. All I'm going to do is use it to get ideas and go, well, that's a pretty cool topic. What if I write just a quick email on that topic, or give them something downloadable, or just give them a link to a cool article on a non-competing website? There's lots of content out there, guys, if you take the time to look for it. Again, that will help you plug the holes once you've identified this buy cycle and how long it takes for these people to get to this point of, hey, I need your help. Let's do a loan. Okay. Now let's talk about connecting our marketing. Now we've touched on this just a little bit. Okay, we've already touched on this a little bit. Let's see here. Oh, I got a ton of questions coming over. Don't worry, guys. We will indeed get to your questions here. How much of your marketing is connected? So here's the first thing that we were talking about, is making the tools do double duty, right? So my realtor marketing coincides with my purchase marketing. Now, you guys might have heard me say this in the past if you've been on my webinars before. I know we've done a whole lot of webinars since 2005, but this one bears repeating. I never, ever offer a service to a real estate agent that I'm trying to get referrals from unless it's mutually beneficial marketing. So, for example, the YouTube videos. Did you guys notice something? Let's say that I work with that realtor and that realtor says, yes, Chad, you can use my listings and put them out there on YouTube and do the SEO and all this other stuff to help capture leads and get more exposure. I say, great. Let's pretend this realtor never gives me a single deal. Am I furious? Well, if I was doing this and that's all I was getting out of it, yes, I would be extremely irritated and feel as if I was taken advantage of. I was just a glorified gopher for that agent. But in this instance, I don't feel that way because I'm leveraging their tools to pop my messages into them as well, so I'm still getting purchase leads. When people inquire about these and when people go to look at the videos of the homes, they end up on my page first with financing options in front of their face, with my phone number in front of their face, and uh-oh, I dropped a cookie on them. So now I can track them for the next 6 months. Pretty cool, huh? So now, even if I don't get any deals from that agent, I don't feel that I've wasted my time because at least I'm building my database. So I've tied two completely separate activities together and made them do double duty. So it's not just the tools, but it's the strategy behind it, saying, okay, well, how can I leverage this stuff to also get these people into my pipeline? And I don't necessarily have to be dropping cookies, guys, or I don't necessarily have to send them over to landing pages. I recommend it, but in a worst-case scenario, if you're not using our mortgage lead pages or our mortgage lead machine, then guess what you can still do? Call capture. Put a call capture number on there that pops up and says, hey, for free 24-hour recorded information, dial this number, and you'll learn how to get into this home with no down payment if you're in an area that does no down payments. Okay? If not, then what's your best financing option? Or what's your best, most provocative headline or information you could put in front of that person's face? Get inside their heads. If somebody's shopping for a home, if they're at the point to where they're watching videos on YouTube of properties, what do you think this person's concerned about? What are their questions? What are their concerns? What are they freaking out about? What's keeping them up at night? Answer that question. And now you got a headline. Now you have a means of really, really engaging with those prospects. So now each video, if I play my cards right, if you guys go and look at your typical property video on YouTube, they're lucky to get like 3 or 4 views a month. If you SEO them, you could easily get 40, 50, 60 views a month per video. Well, these videos take a couple minutes to put together. What happens when I put 10 of them out there? 20, 30. At the end of the year, I have 150 videos out there, 200 videos, 300. That racks up the views very, very quickly. It's like a little snowball effect. Since we're doing it the right way, that ends up being a significant source of business, but you got to play your cards right, right? Something else you can do, and this is the easiest one we've discussed yet, why aren't we asking every single person that we talk to, I don't care if it's by phone, by email, a referral, we should ask every single person before we hang up for their email address. Build your database, guys. Pump them into your database. Hey, oh, by the way, before I go, do you mind if I get your email address, and here's why. You know, for individuals that are shopping for homes, we publish a series of these excellent how-to tutorial articles about the home buying process. And in fact, I got the first one I'm about to send you here is about how to pick the best financing option for your home, but also how to pick your best realtor and how to do this, how to avoid getting taken advantage of, blah, blah, blah. Do you mind if I send that over to you? What email should I send that to? And 9 times out of 10, they'll say yes to that because that's not threatening. You'll get some no's. I don't like giving my email out, but who cares? They're not saying no to you. They're just saying no to giving you their email. It takes 10 seconds to ask, and what you'll find is you build your database that much quicker. Now you have more people to track, send pictures of beautiful homes for sale to, and drop cookies on, and make sure that they see your ad for the next 6 months through that buy cycle. So just collect emails, every single person you talk to. But also, connect on social media, guys. Why do I have a YouTube channel out there? I'm getting a ton of business from YouTube right now. It's because it's SEO'd, it's leveraged, and people can subscribe to my channel, and now they get notifications in their email from YouTube, and every time they go to their YouTube account, anytime I post a new video, so they're constantly being reminded of me. Same thing on Facebook. I'll find them on Facebook. I'll send them a friend request. I'll connect with them. Why? Because if I can't reach them through email, I can send them a quick Facebook message. Have you guys thought about that, using Facebook as a professional tool? You know, by the way, Facebook is right now in beta test, something called Facebook Business. So they're creating an internal business version of Facebook, by the way. Should be launching sometime here this year in 2015. Don't know if you guys were aware of that or not. So, yeah, it could become a powerful business tool for you. Same thing on LinkedIn. How many millions of people on LinkedIn now? How many hundreds of millions? Most of these folks have a profile. So when you connect with them on these different profiles, they keep seeing your profile showing up when they log into their accounts, and you have an alternative message or means of messaging them if you can't get a response. Pretty cool, huh? So retargeting. So we've been talking about dropping cookies. Now there's lots of third-party software out there and things that will allow you to drop cookies and retarget individuals. I don't have time to, this is a kind of a webinar in and of itself, all by itself, but it's a really cool topic. Regardless, I think you guys should start utilizing and wielding this tool of retargeting online, because that just means that every single person, whether they give you their information or not, if they click on something of yours, now you got them. With that cookie, you can make sure that they see your ads for the next 6 months. Why would we not do that? Why would we not do that? Okay. All right. Now I'm going to start tying everything together and giving you some examples. But let's talk about that follow-up. The general idea here, guys, is we want to create wow moments. We want to intermingle our information, helpful information, and how-to information with interesting information. People like infotainment these days, right? They have short attention span, so we have to be entertaining, not boring. But at the same time, we can't cross over into the I'm so entertaining that you find it hard to trust me as a professional. right? We're not here to be a clown. We're not here to be a comedian. We're here to give them good, usable information and intermingle some entertaining information with that as well, whether that's little-known facts or just presenting information in a more fun, upbeat way, such as videos. Lots of different ways to engage with your audience. But the general goal here is to keep driving them back to your website so that you can monitor their behaviors. Here's an example, okay? So I'm running ads with the local realtor to capture house buyer leads, right? We've already talked about that, whether we're using Craigslist to drive some of that traffic to our videos or running ads on Facebook or AdWords or AdCenter. Bottom line is I insert my code on the page that they're going to land on. So I know in advance that, hey, if they're coming over from Craigslist or from YouTube or from Facebook, I know what my landing page is, what page I want them to land on, and I insert my tracking code on that page. So now, once they've landed on that page, now I got them. So I can email them once a week, and then I log into my software to check and see what they're looking at, because it'll tell me, oh, Chad Weber looked at this page and that page and that page and this home for sale and that home for sale, and he downloaded this article. So it's going to give me a ranking on how hot the lead is. And based on this information, now I don't have to market to people blindly in my database. So now I can blast out all these emails to my database and know that when I get these little reports, it goes, oh, okay, so this person, even though he said he's looking to buy a home, it looks like he's been reading a bunch of refinance articles on my website. Well, maybe, guess what that means? It means maybe he's thinking about sticking around where he's at if he can get a good deal on a refi. So why would I keep sending somebody who's reading refi articles on my website, why would I keep sending him purchase information? So I'm going to transfer him over to a different folder of emails. And I might even give him a jingle on the phone to find out what's going on. Hey, you still I know we just spoke about 3 weeks ago, you're thinking about buying a home in the Chesterfield area. So is that still something that you're interested in, or have things changed? Well, we got to talking, and we don't have quite as much money in the bank as we thought for a good down payment, so we're thinking about sticking around where we're at for at least the next 5 years, just so long as it's not too expensive. Oh, really? Interesting. Would I have had that opportunity otherwise? So do you see how that works? Is I purposely drive them back to my website. Okay. Same thing with FSBOs. This doesn't have to apply just to realtors and purchase transactions, guys. How about FSBOs? So here's another example of a funnel that we've used. So I pull a ton of FSBOs off of Craigslist, guys, because FSBOs love posting their homes for sale on Craigslist, and you can also go to like FSBO.com and all those other syndication websites where individuals can post their properties for free. So what I did was I offered and put ads on Craigslist and also on Facebook and other places for a free FSBO first aid kit. Now, the first aid kit just gave them tips and suggestions and ideas on how to properly market their home, because guess what? The way most of these folks are marketing their home is horrible. Let me tell you, horrible. Their chances of selling their home is extremely, extremely tiny based on the fact that they're relying on pretty much just slapping a sign in their front yard and just posting the property to a couple FSBO sites and hoping that'll do it. Requires a little more effort than that in most cases, right? So my first aid kit's going to give them tips on that, but also talking about financing options, blah, 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 what to do if your home doesn't sell in the next 60 to 90 days or whatever. Well, when they click to download that, guess what? I get my notification again because I have the tracking code on my website. So I know, oh, this person just went and downloaded a FSBO first aid kit. Now I can track and see when they take action. When they send, and I can send them options and financing options and information when appropriate. So when I see, oh, well, they went back to my website to read this article or that article, well, I know it's about time. What are they looking at? Are they looking at other homes for sale? Are they reading articles on marketing? Are they reading articles on financing? What? So by tracking that behavior, I know when they're kind of getting to the end of the rope and thinking about, you know what, maybe we're not going to sell. Maybe we should just list. Because I'll put an article on a page on my website specifically dedicated to tired of trying to sell your home yourself, how to know when it's time to list. So when I see that they're reading that article, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to conveniently time my follow-up later that day, maybe give them a call while it's still fresh in their mind. Because now I have a perfect lead for my realtor friend. And if I'm targeting high-performance realtors, the law of reciprocity kicks in. It can mean a whole lot of money to me. So I'm going to say, hey, I have somebody here that just tried selling his home. He hasn't been successful. It's been over 90 days. He's kind of getting desperate. He really wants to list with a high-quality agent such as yourself. I've already told him to expect a phone call from you. Here's his phone number. Here's his information. Yes, I've already pre-qualified for him, so you know you're not wasting your time. So it's almost a guaranteed listing. No, by the way, he's buying a home too, so maybe you have yourself a buyer's as well. Agents are going to be thankful. You're going to get deals out of that. Plus, when this person closes, boom, now you have a loan. So that's the type of marketing that I want to see in your funnels, folks. Right? Everybody agree? All right. So let's give you some more examples. Let's put it all together again on another level. All right. So we're going to go back to the realtors. Now, I showed you guys at the beginning of the call, reminded you what that realtor magazine looks like. So I'm using that magazine to open up the door to the realtor and say, hey, I need to spotlight a high-quality agent in the Chesterfield area in next week's issue, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I use that as my door opening piece. So the reason that's a door opener is because now I'm going to correspond with them via email. I'm going to send them a couple of emails with updates and, okay, here's the issue that you're in. It's pre-published. You know, take a look at that. And, oh, we just published it. Here's a page where you can go and view the magazine, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm doing? I'm training them to open my emails because now I'm kind of on their priority list because they want to see how they turned out being spotlighted in this article, in this magazine, right? So after I've trained them to open my emails, now I hit them up with the demo for the heat map software. They're going to open the email. I already know they are. So now I might throw in one of my sales messages in there. See, I've trained them to get used to opening my stuff. That's what we have to do is look at our marketing from that angle, is one step must naturally flow to the next. So I hit them up with my heat map feature, but also with my video SEO strategy. Well, after they say yes to that video SEO strategy and they allow me to insert the heat map software on their website, well, guess what? I'm golden now. I'm going to use those video listings to capture leads. I'm going to feed the leads to the realtor when I capture them, but I'm also going to work them myself. And I'm going to track their activity level. I drip feed on those leads until they become loans. At the right time to discuss the realtor about becoming the go-to loan officer. Because once you've delivered a couple of transactions that have actually turned into closings for them, they're going to be far more receptive to making you their one primary loan officer. And you wash, rinse, and repeat this strategy with other agents in the area. But I find different agents in different cities, specializing in different cities, so I'm not dealing with a bunch of people that are competing with each other because that creates a little bit of rivalry. And you know what? Life's too short for all that drama, guys. So I try to find agents that are not directly competing with each other head-to-head. So either they're in different markets or they focus on different things. So I might get one agent that's primarily new construction, get another agent that's primarily luxury homes, get another that's mid-level homes and so forth, another that specializes in first-time home buyers, low-end homes. So that way they're not bumping heads and getting angry and competing with each other. So again, wash, rinse, repeat. So again, I'm giving you examples that you could actually see. Here's what a full-blown funnel looks like. But you'll see that I started with the beginning up here at the top. Here's how I get in touch. Here's how I open the door. Here's how I get them used to reading my stuff. And then I hit them up with this, and then boom, and here's how it all turns into loans. Now I go in and I flesh it out with the actual specific details every step of the way, such as, here's how I do this, here's how I do that. But this is my overview first. Wash, rinse, repeat. Now, I showed you guys what my business plan looked like way back when. I'm also going to show you what my goals looked like as I really started getting heavy into the purchase market. And this is what I put together as my original goal. So once I knew what my flow looked like, right? So I created that first slide before this. I created what that flow is going to look like. But then I went to the I Promise document. So if you guys forget what the I Promise document looks like, let's go back. Let's go back to that I Promise. Here it is. Here we go. Here we go. There it is. So this is where I'm at the stage of actually making my commitment of what my daily activity is going to be. What is something that I'm going to commit to doing every single day? Well, that item is this right here. My daily goals. Each day, I will contact 10 agents and have discussions with 5 of them. So 10 contacts doesn't mean I'm going to talk to 10 agents. It means I'm going to attempt to talk to them. And oftentimes I'm going to get voicemail. So what I found was over the years was that roughly 50% of them I'll get on the line, and the other 50% I'll go straight to their voicemail. So that's why I said, well, I'm going to contact 10 of them. My goal is to not leave the office until I've had 5 discussions for the day. Now, this could be agents I'm already working with. This could be brand new agents. This could be agents I'm working on converting. But what I found was that the more conversations that I had, productive conversations with mid to high level performers, the more my business grew. Because you make your own luck, right? A lot of people say, oh, you're so lucky because I just so happened to be on the phone with an agent who was the number 2 agent in the entire area, and she just got done firing her loan officer who just completely screwed up a deal, a really big deal, really important client. She was angry. This was an agent I'd had trouble getting to take me seriously in the past. She just kept blowing me off. Well, this time I managed to get her on the line right after she got done firing him. She said, you know what? Can you come see me? It was about an hour or 2 before lunch. She said, okay, let's do lunch. She said, I need a new loan officer. I need a new loan officer now. I said, great. Everybody in the office, you're so lucky, Chad. Well, no, it wasn't luck. It was the fact that I was making sure that I made X amount of phone calls every day. Create your own luck. This agent was responsible for over 34 closings in a single year. What did that one phone call net me for that year? 34 closings from a single agent. That wasn't luck. I mean, part of it is a roll of the dice, yes, but it's being on that phone. So that's what I made the commitment until I had my business where I wanted it. This isn't something you have to commit to every single year. It's, hey, when you're not where you want to be, what are you willing to do to get there? Each day I'll post 2 videos to YouTube. Okay, I'll post 5 properties to Craigslist, or at least 5 ads. 5 ads for my for sale by owner sales funnel, my first-time homebuyer sales funnel, my low money down payment sales funnel, or actual properties. What am I using as bait for that week? Regardless, I'm going to have 5 ads going up. Okay, each week, so my daily commitment, now here's my weekly commitment. Each week I'll have at least 1 sit-down with a mid to high-level producing agent. So out of those 5 phone calls, I expect a minimum of 1 of them to turn into an actual appointment. So every week I need to be pressing the flesh with at least 1 agent. Now that sit-down didn't have to just be lunch. It could be meeting at their sales meetings or actually conducting their sales meeting, but I needed to be in the office where the production was taking place, because what I found was that the more I was in their offices, the more, oh, hey, can you help me with this? Or approached by sales managers saying, hey, how would you like to run our sales meeting next week? Do you think he would have offered that to me if he didn't see me in there every single week, helping his agents with great information on how they can be doing more business? So now I'm like almost the company-sponsored loan officer because he just approved me to run their sales meeting. It was scary as heck the first time that happened. But wow, did that turn into a lot of business, okay? Again, not luck. It's being in the right place at the right time due to your daily commitments. Each week, I'll get at least 2 videos to the top of YouTube or Google. 30 days out, what's my goal? 30 days out, I want my site at least on the front page. I can't say it's going to be spot number 1, page number 1, but I at least want it somewhere on the top 10 listings on the front page of Google. Now, this is a ambitious goal. These are ambitious commitments, but does this look like something that an ordinary loan officer would commit to? No, this is what an extraordinary loan officer will commit to. So those were my goals. My goals don't have to be your goals. Just giving you an example of what I'd committed to. So I used these documents down here. And again, guys, you can go download these for free at the loanofficermarketinglab.com/blog. So you have your I Promise document. You have, let's head back over there real quick. Your downloads and marketing. So we go to session number 2 page, and it'll be at the bottom of session number 2. So yeah, here's your marketing plan template. Here's Have a Better Week document. So I can pop that open here real quick. There we go. So in order to make this year my best ever, here's how I made improvements to my business last week and how I experienced additional growth this week. So once I know what my daily and weekly commitments are, now I can go through and fill out these accountability documents. Because these accountability documents, I'm going to print them out. I'm going to post them somewhere visible so I see them every freaking day. It's going to make me feel terrible if I'm not sticking to it, right? It's going to make me feel terrible. And that's the idea. Hold your feet to the fire. Commitment. All right? So to make things easier for you guys to get started, here's a couple of recommendations. If you want to create a really cool flow chart, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Bubble.us. It's a mind map, free mind map software. They'll try to get you to upgrade to the premium edition, but there's a free edition out there. It's Bubble without an E .us. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so Bubble.us, you just go here and you click to start brainstorming. And it's this little graphical interface where I can actually create this cool little flow chart for myself. So I can sit here and I can connect one to the other and do all this really neat stuff with it. So everything's movable, but I just, every step of the way, state here's what's going to happen. So this is my magazine interview. This is going to be step 1. Okay. And then here's my yes versus my no. So I can create multiple tabs here and connect them. Here's what I'll do if it's a yes. Here's what I'll do if it's a no. And then I'll put the next steps over here, and then I can connect this to this, right? See right here, I can connect. Boom, boom. So it's really just drag and drop. This really cool little software that'll create this awesome-looking mind map for you. And I don't know about you, but guys, I'm very visual-oriented. I need to see stuff. I can't just read it and really grasp it as well as when I actually see something. So when I see it, that's where I feel, okay, I really, really have a good understanding. So it's Bubble.us. Use that software, guys. It's really cool. You can create a really cool chart for yourself. Okay. And as you're going through, I want you guys to ask yourself, every step of the way, what is the next logical step? What opportunity do I have to make an impact or move someone in my sales funnel forward? At what points do prospects or referral partners, where do they have concerns? Where do they run into challenges? What are these things that I can help with? Most people don't ask this. They just keep saying, well, how do I close more loans? How do I make more money? And that's just way too vague of a question. It's how can I help? What areas are they going to feel pressure, concerns, or challenges? And how can I help with that? Because you solve those and you become a solution. You're not a commodity to them anymore. You are a solution. Now you become the go-to person. Now you become the person that's sought out by realtors and buyers, sellers, etc. And then once you have the answer, hey, here's how I can help. Now you ask yourself, how do I demonstrate this? How do I show off a little? That's where the heat map software comes in. That's where the video software comes in. That's where the YouTube videos come in. I'm showing off to the agents, and I'm proud of it, right? Because you're making a point. Hey, I bet your loan officer you're working with now doesn't do this for you, does he? Same thing with your buyers. Hey, I bet all these other loan officers you've been talking to haven't done this or provide you this video or this information or this presentation. And when you've created these ways to show off, now you have good excuses to get in touch. Not just, hey, I'm checking in with you. See, every time you get in touch, you have an opportunity to observe their behavior, even if it's just through email. It's like dropping these little crumbs in the lake, and then you're catching all the fish that come to the top. The fish that come to the top are the ones that are hungry. They've revealed themselves. The fact that they're hungry means they're open to what you have. So it's a little fishing analogy there, but I'm sure it gets across properly. So we're fishing, and by putting that bait out there, we're going to see what comes to the top. That's the low-hanging fruit. You can just go boom, 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 boom. You, and you. Okay, you're in my pipeline now. Sweet. That's what we're after. We don't have to make it overly difficult for ourselves. It sounds very technical in the beginning, but when you have the proper tools helping you out, it's not nearly as bad as a lot of people think. So I'm going to get back to a recap here, but let me tell you guys, for all you guys asking about the Marketing Accelerator offer from last week, all 25 of those spots were taken, okay? All 25 spots are available, so that group done, that offer is closed. But I've been flooded with enough emails. I think I got about 9 emails this morning saying, hey, I went to the page and it wasn't available anymore. Here's what I'm going to do. And I normally don't do this, and if you don't believe me, go listen to my old webinars, and you'll see we're usually Nazis about how many people we put in a program. that first group is closed, but I'm just going to create a second group. So you're not going to be able to deploy at the same time as group 1 of 25 loan officers, but I'm going to open up a second group deploying on a different day, so that way it doesn't interfere with anybody's level of service, to 12 more loan officers, okay? Because I got 9 requests, so I think we already got 9 of those sold. Here's what that includes. So our Fast Start Joint Deployment strategy for the month of February. If you guys want my help, I'm going to give you guys a task management software login where you log in and each day it shows you, here's your to-do list, here's what you need to do, and here's what you need to do tomorrow, here's when it needs to be done by. No question about what needs to be done from A to Z. Just log in, task management software showing you here's what your day looks like of what you need to get accomplished before you leave. Okay? So, and we'll be meeting multiple times through the month of February to make sure that you get all your questions answered, and we basically help you get these things deployed. We're going to do things such as we're going to deploy the heat map tracking software strategy, and that does the video recording as well. We're going to do, you're going to get that heat map tracking software as well, so you'll be able to deploy that on your site plus realtor sites. The lead capture software that I showed you on session number 1. We haven't seen it since session number 1, but it creates opt-in forms through drag and drop interfaces. You'll get that. The video player software I showed you today, you'll get that. So you get all 3 of these software programs. The editable Realtor Magazine template, it's editable in Microsoft Word. You get that. Complete Mortgage website. I showed you guys the website on session number 2. Really butt-kicking website. Professional grade, built-in blogging platform, everything. So you can use it to do everything we discussed here today. And then the turnkey SEO package, where we're going to send 150 people from different IP addresses to actually search for you in Google, and then when they find you, click on you, because that is very, very powerful for helping your site rank on page 1. So we have 150 individuals will do that for you over the month of February. And you can spread that out over multiple pages or even your YouTube videos, whatever you want to rank on page 1. So we'll help you rank. Can't guarantee you'll be on page 1, but it'll most certainly help. And then we'll give you access to Loan Officer Marketing Lab as well. So the special offer for that, guys, if you go to that page, it's $1 to reserve. $1 to reserve your spot. Now, that doesn't mean it costs $1. Okay, it's $2.59 to participate, but you're only paying $1 today. The other will not be billed for 2 weeks until February. Okay, but this is the link you would need to go to right here to grab your spot. I'm shutting it down after 12 because I normally don't reopen stuff like this, guys, because we're very short on time over here, but I want to make sure that everybody, the beginning of the year only comes once. I want to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity. Okay, so everybody that really wants it. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting, okay, let me give you guys that link. I'm going to put you a clickable link here in your chat box. Give me just a moment, and then I'm going to get to your questions. Don't worry. Okay, I just sent you a clickable link in the chat box, top right. That'll bring you over to the special offer. On that page, you see we have it open for 8 hours because I think that's all we're going to, looks like 3 people already snagged it, so we're down to 9 spots. You just click the blue button, the Get This Deal button. We'll get you all signed up. And guys, after that, it's going to say $99 a month. That's the Loan Officer Marketing Lab for not this month, but for the following month, for the month of March. If you want to keep your Loan Officer Marketing Lab access, it'll roll into $99 a month. But you could cancel that if you don't want it, although I strongly recommend. You guys are going to love it, and there's lots and lots of benefits to being a lab member. So you're not going to find something that cheap, that low cost, with that much value packed into it. So that's the page. All right? So for those of you that want to participate, go snag that spot ASAP. It's only going to charge you $1 today to reserve your spot, and this is all the stuff you get with it. Now, for those of you that really liked the Mortgage Lead Machine or the landing page software I was showing you today, so Mortgage Lead Pages has the landing page creators and lead capture elements. Mortgage Lead Machine has the mini CRM functions, the automation, the tracking, the email autoresponder, website tracking, sales automation, funnel builder, all that good stuff. So if you guys want to take part in that, okay, Mortgage lead pages is currently closed, but we may have some spots available next week. You need to email me at cweber@averagejoelo.com. Let me give you my email. I'm going to pop it in the chat box here as well for you. Mortgage lead machine, we do have openings for mortgage lead machine. So I'm giving you a clickable link in the chat box there too. So that mortgage lead machine, $79 a month to have access to that. And yes, it comes with done-for-you content and sales funnels, all that good stuff. Very, very powerful. So those are the two offers. Okay. Awesome, awesome. All right, seems like, yeah, if our audio's cutting in and out, guys, yeah, I hate that. That's just GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar. But yes, I did indeed record today's session. Okay, so I do see a lot of questions to answer over here as well. And let me go back to just a second. Yeah, and here's the phone number. If you guys just want to call and find out what we recommend for your situation, if you feel like you have a unique situation, here's how you reach me, 636-240-5758. Although, if you're wanting to participate in the fast start where you're getting our help in the daily to-do list so you know exactly what to implement and get more realtor business, get a web presence, and get all these things set up, that's something that we're down to, okay, it looks like 7 spots left. So I'd recommend taking action on that right away. At least reserve your spot for the $1. Okay. All right. Perfect, perfect. And then for the mortgage lead pages, see Weber at AverageJoeLO, or you can just call me. If you want to get in, we'll be opening up for a small number of loan officers next week, or mortgage lead machine you can grab today at mortgageleadmachine.com. Okay. All right. Now I see a bunch of questions over here. I'm going to start scrolling up through and seeing what I can answer for you. All right. So give me just a moment, guys. There's a lot of questions here. I'm going to do my best to answer. Let me just flip over slides to this page. Okay. So, okay, it was recorded. Okay, the loan officer. Okay, Chad, yeah, will this be available to review? Yes, absolutely. That review video, the replay of this will go out most likely within about an hour of this call ending. Okay. All right. Does the Loan Officer Marketing Lab membership include? Okay. Yeah, the Mortgage Lead Machine, Brian, is different from Loan Officer Marketing Lab. Loan Officer Marketing Lab is basically, it's our membership site where it's just a huge database of all these different marketing strategies, everything from Craigslist marketing to social media to building your website. We help you deploy a website, SEO strategies, hyper-local marketing to rank on the front page when people are looking for loan officers, just all the latest and greatest strategies. And we update it every single month, and we do a live training once a month. Okay? So Loan Officer Marketing Lab is very intense, cutting-edge strategies, constantly updated. It's one of the best values in the market for staying up to date as to what works. Okay? Let's see. So hopefully that answers and that helps. Okay. All right, touch points. Okay. Okay, Chad, do you turn your different landing pages on and off, or do you run one for a few days and rotate them? For landing pages, Paul, it really depends on the market that I'm targeting, like what niche am I in. Usually, if I hit on a great landing page that's just really sucking in the leads, I'll leave it up until I see a dip in production. Okay, so yeah, my landing pages, I like to leave them up and then rotate them when I start to see a dip. You know, if I'm doing something like Craigslist or whatnot. Okay. 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 How much technical knowledge is needed to implement? Most of what we do, folks, is all drag and drop. Okay, like let me give you guys an example, because I'm getting lots of questions about how hard is this technical stuff, you know, for things like our landing page creator and different software such as that. And most of this stuff is very, very simple. Let me give you guys an example. Okay, I'll show you how quick I can create a landing page. Okay, so here's mortgage lead pages. I click down here to add a page. I just name my page. So let's say that I wanted to go after house hunters, for example. I want to do a Craigslist campaign, so I'm just going to name this House Hunters. I come down here and I can look at all these different landing page styles, and I say, okay, I'm going to do this one right here, house hunting. Okay, I'm going to choose my thank you page. I'm going to grab my thank you page, and I click Create New Landing Page. Okay, boom. All right, now everything on this page is just point and click. So right here, I want to put it in bold. I highlight it. Boom. Okay, I got a better headline there. This font's too small for my taste, so I'm going to bump that up to, let me put it in bold, and maybe size 18 or 16. There we go. That's better. Okay, I'll do the same thing here. So you can see here, I just highlight what I want to edit. Maybe I don't like this picture. Well, I can click right here to insert a new picture, or if I want to insert a video, I can do that. Do I want to make it a clickable link? Or do I just want to say, okay, I'm happy with this. I'm going to click my Save button. And now I just click the preview. All right, there you go. I have a landing page. Saw how quick it was to create because it's already designed. All I have to do is just go in and customize. You know, just point and click what I want to edit. Maybe I want to change the text on this button. Okay, I can do that too. Maybe I need to put some disclaimers down here in the footer. Okay, I got space for that too. Just click Save. Now I'm ready to rock and roll. If I want to change my lead forms, then I can click on Settings here, and then I can change my lead form. If I decide I don't like this page, I can click to change my template. I go back and choose a different one. Okay, I'm going to choose this one right here. Click Update. Now you're going to watch it rebuild my landing page into a completely different style. So you can see it's really, really easy to use. Okay, we try to make these things as user-friendly as possible. Does this make sense? Awesome. So yeah, that's mortgage lead pages. So we anticipate having some available slots next week for that, but you'll have to either email or call us to get put on that list, guys, because that's yeah, we typically have a waiting list for that because everybody wants in on the landing page creator, but we limit the number of loan officers because we don't want to saturate the market. Okay. Let's see, does the membership for Loan Officer Marketing Lab include advanced marketing specifics to mortgage buyers and sellers and lead capturing? That's something different, Manny. That's our mortgagemarketingcoaching.com. Yeah, that's mortgagemarketingcoaching.com for our advanced Facebook lead instruction. So yeah, if you guys are interested in our coaching, if you really want to learn how to go and generate 100, 200 or so leads every month from Facebook, spending about $100 to do it, then what you really want, now, but I'll just tell you guys right off the bat, our coaching isn't cheap for this because it's one-on-one, but we do help you get results very, very quickly from day number one. You just go to mortgagemarketingcoaching.com, put your name and your email in here, and then you answer about 10 questions about your goals and what you're trying to accomplish, and then you'll get 15 minutes on the phone with me to find out if it's a good fit of what you're looking for. For those of you that want really advanced marketing instruction, just one-on-one, just boom, let me get this out, PPC, this is what you want. I'm just letting you know, though, for folks looking just for something really cheap, this is not it. Mortgage marketing coaching, that's one-on-one. All right? Okay, so hopefully that answers that. Okay, if you're not able to get in on the new deals page, just send me an email right now and say, hey, Chad, I wanted to grab that, and we'll get you a spot just so long as there's one still available. Okay? All right. Okay, just membership. Okay, I think we got to that one already. Okay, Manny, yeah, the 79 for the mortgage lead machines, that's the advanced edition. Okay. Yeah, Jackie, the Loan Officer Marketing Lab access for those doing the Marketing Accelerator or Fast Start program, that starts in February. Ed, Chad, do you think this can be converted to do commercial loans? You know, that's funny. That's the second time I've been asked that in about the past month and a half or two. So I would say, I mean, the strategies the skills are transferable. I'll put it to you that way. And just so long as you know what drives your target market, then absolutely. Because everything else, these are transferable skills that work whether you're mortgage, real estate, or even if you're selling cars or insurance. You know, this will work because it's all about you know, targeting and driving folks to hyper-focused pages that speak to their wants and needs. Just so long as you have your arms around what your prospects are really looking for, then absolutely. Okay, so Chad, why do you call this a mini CRM? What is missing? Mark, it's not necessarily that it's anything important is missing. It's that there are certain things. See, we actually developed both a miniature CRM and then we developed a full-blown CRM. Now, anybody that's used something like Infusionsoft and paid that $300 a month or something along those lines, you know just how ridiculously complicated it is to get things set up. I mean, that thing does tens of thousands of things, and there's a reason why they say, hey, for $2,000, we'll set it up for you. You know, and that's coming from the developers of it. So that tells you something about the level of complexity. And the thing is during our beta testing and trials where we put several dozen loan officers on our CRMs, what we found was about 50–60% of the features they never even touched, period. And they just found confusing and frustrating when you have to click 20 buttons to get to a single feature. So what we did was we cut out all the fluff that nobody was using. So it has all the automation, the lead scoring, and I mean it even pulls in, you know, their social media profiles and all that fun stuff when you capture an email. I mean, it's just a really, really streamlined and efficient system. So it doesn't mean we're all things to all people. If you want something ultra complex, because some people really do, you know, when they have a very complex sales funnel, then in that case it's not for you. But if you want something that's automated and has a graphical interface and tracks and provides feedback and is still simple to use, then yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, David. So, what does it cost if we hire your team to set it up? What would you like set up for you? I'm not sure which service you were referencing, so I apologize. Okay, Chad, would you be sending us a copy of this webinar? Yes, an email will be going out roughly 1 to 2 hours after this call. Okay, is this available? Yes, David, for those that are Loan Officer Marketing Lab members, we will be putting these videos in the membership area. Okay, just going through all the questions here. Give me just a moment here, folks. I'm getting to as many of them as I can. If I missed your question, feel free to ask it again. Looks like we had a couple hundred questions that were asked, so trying to get to as many of them as I can. Okay, if you're looking for us to, like say, set up your automation on the back end and whatnot, then what we would do is we don't really have an off-the-shelf service for that. So what we do is we would just give you a jingle and go over what, you know, which aspects you need set up, which you don't, and then we'll give you a quote at that point. But it's very, very cost effective. It's nowhere near that $2,000 or not even $1,000, nowhere near that even to get everything set up. You know, just so long as it's reasonable. If somebody's telling us, hey, I want you to build me a whole website and then do this and then do that, you know, at that point, yeah, that would start to get costly in a hurry at that point. So. Not a problem, David. Okay. Okay, so Mandy says, Chad, I had purchased Infusionsoft when things were good, $6,000 plus $2,500 in implementation plus $3,000 to fly to Nevada with an assistant. Total for Infusionsoft was $11,000, and it was so confusing that I began calling it Confusionsoft. Yeah, this is, I'll tell you what, this is definitely nowhere near as confusing. This is, in fact, very, very efficient and straightforward, and we have videos, and we're going to be doing live training on that as well for folks that want to get walked through how to use everything. So we will be doing live trainings for the Mortgage Lead Machine. All right? Awesome. So I like that, Confusionsoft. Okay. Is there a download for the sample business plan from the second session? Absolutely. Just go to loanofficermarketinglab.com/blog and click on that very most recent blog post. And it says on there, it's session number 2. Click on that page. It's at the bottom of the page when you scroll down. All right. Okay, so Don, Chad, will the video and SEO strategy work with FSBOs as well? Absolutely. Absolutely. It will. we've used very, very similar for the for sale by owner market. And guys, it seems like there's just so few folks really targeting for sale by owners. For sale by owners can be a gold mine for you. I mean, they get hounded by realtors, but not a whole lot of loan officers, you know. And funny thing being is it's much easier for a loan officer to get a lead from FSBOs than it is a realtor. Why? Because you're not the enemy. And I use the term enemy to mean that's who they're trying to avoid. When you're selling your home by owner, it's because you don't want to pay that commission, right? So at that point in time, technically the realtor is the enemy. So when a realtor calls, they're automatically on the defensive. No, I'm not interested. I mean, just go look at Craigslist at all the FSBO listings. What do they usually put in big letters? You know, we're not interested in calls from realtors, because they, you know, we listed our home for sale by owner, and at the end of the first week, if I had to guesstimate, I'd say we probably had somewhere between 18 and 20 phone calls from realtors. We were sick of it, absolutely sick of it. Not a single loan officer. At the end of the month, not a single loan officer, but call after call after call after call. Even after we were done with our for sale by owner, still months later, 3-4 months later, still getting calls from realtors. Hey, did you ever sell that home? They're the enemy in the eyes of the seller. The loan officer is not. So it's much easier to, hey, my name is Chad Weber calling, and just so you know, I'm not a real estate agent. So you put your mind at ease there. Sure, you've been getting a bunch of phone calls from those agents, haven't you? You know. Beautiful market to target, folks that are definitely in need of help, and they make for great leads to your realtors once they decide, because we know that the bulk of them fail to sell and end up listing anyways. So you have a great lead for your realtors, plus somebody that's going to need your services as well. Okay, let's see. So Chad, I missed the first 2 sessions. Are there links to those sessions available as well? Yeah, if you go to loanofficermarketinglab.com/blog, Ed, you will see that very first blog post has links to everything. Everything that we've done up until now for this 3-part session, you'll find there. Yeah, Mark, the mortgage lead machine, that's the it's $79 a month, and that comes with, we're going to upload. We actually set it all up for you. Now, by setup, what I mean is we get sample funnels, such as the funnels that I was showing you guys earlier. All those funnels that you saw there, those are funnels that we set up for you. So you have pre-written emails. You have 5 separate funnels, and we'll be adding more funnels to that mix very, very shortly. We've been working on actual video emails that will be getting uploaded into your mortgage lead machine accounts. So you'll actually be able to send done-for-you videos to your prospects to follow up and engage them. So we've been streamlining that software to add even more funnels, so that way you don't have to write 3, 4, 5, 6 months worth of content, okay? Now, you may still want to write some of your own content, or you can just go in and edit the content we've already written for you. But yes, you'll get all of those initial 5 funnels set up for you. So you don't have to mess with any of that. Just focus on feeding the machine. Just get the leads in there, and that's mortgageleadmachine.com if anybody wants to grab hold of that program, okay? And for the mortgage lead pages, like I said, you can't get into that right now. But if you really, really want in, next week, I'm anticipating we'll have some openings. Send an email to the cweber@averagejoelo.com or call the phone number there. Leave us a message. Somebody will get back with you, and we'll put you on the waiting list, okay? All right, and it looks like we're down to, looks like we have 4 slots left for the Fast Start Marketing Accelerator program down here. And if you guys weren't able to get in, leave me a message right away, ASAP, because it looks like we only have just a couple slots left, and I'll have somebody get back with you to grab that spot for you. Okay? Awesome. Okay, Lori, Chad, for the lead machine, you paid $250 plus $79 per month. No, it's just $79, Lori, just $79 a month for mortgage lead machine. Yeah, it's the Fast Start program. This is where you're going to get the personal training with me and a group of, in this case, the 25 is already sold out, but I just set up in another group of 12 that you folks can get into. So it'll be you and 11 other individuals on the call, so that way I can get all your questions answered in a timely fashion. and we'll be doing our Fast Start joint deployment. So that means you'll be getting to-do lists every day. When you log into the system, it'll show you on your dashboard, hey, here's what you need to get done today. Here's what's on your calendar to get done the rest of this week, et cetera, et cetera. If you're wanting to build your website, here's what you need to do. Here's a call to jump on. You'll jump on training with us, et cetera, et cetera. So that plus the heat map tracking software, lead capture software, and video player software, the ones that I showed on Tuesday's call, and the editable Realtor Magazine template. We're going to help you set up your mortgage website with blog. You get the turnkey SEO package and then access to the Loan Officer Marketing Lab members area. But again, I just got to reiterate this, guys. It doesn't begin until February. So you're not going to get logins today because I want you guys to get your marketing plan, start working on that and going through these 3 videos if you missed anything. I want to make sure that your schedule's cleared and you guys are ready to rock and roll come February. Okay? So your logins don't get sent to you today for the Fast Start program. Now, if you're doing Mortgage Lead Machine, yeah, you'll get your logins within 48 hours, okay, because we're actually going to set that up for you. But the Fast Start program begins in February, so that $1, hold your spot. You will not be charged the $259 until the actual training begins, okay? Awesome. Okay. So I'm going through the questions again, okay. Awesome. Yeah, Robert. Yeah, feel free. Shoot us a message, and we'll get you started on that Facebook coaching. No doubt. Okay. Let's see. I apologize, guys. Just scrolling through. How much time for deployment? Okay. Yeah. The Fast Start program, guys, is separate from Mortgage Lead Machine. Yeah, those are two separate programs. How much time? So how much time should we allot for the Fast Start deployment? My recommendation, folks, is it's going to depend on which of the marketing legs you decide to implement. But for that first week, I would recommend that you set aside for that whole week, we're going to do about a 45-minute joint call, okay? And then I'm going to give you guys your to-do lists to implement what we're demonstrating. So I would say to have about 4 to 5 hours set aside to implement everything on that first week. And a typical week is about 5, in some cases 6 or 7 hours of implementation. Just depends on which task we're focusing on for that week. But we're going to get a whole lot done in a very short period of time. I'm going to give you guys some shortcuts as well. So it just really depends on the individual loan officer, how quickly they get these things implemented. But I tell most folks about anywhere from 5 to 7 hours is a typical week of implementation. All right? Okay, 3 spots. What were you looking for, David? Send you 3 spots? I'm not sure what that was, which comment that was in relation to. Just making sure I'm understanding here. Okay, so BJ, yeah, the Fast Start, BJ, it's $259. That doesn't get charged until we actually begin. So basically, if you go to this link here, you just get charged $1, and that's because well, it's PayPal, so you got to charge something. So that just holds your spot, and that just shows, hey, this person's serious. So we're not reserving spots for people that don't show up and don't complete the training. And now we've, have spots open that other people wanted but got shut out of. So that's the purpose of the $1. Okay. Oh, okay. The 3 classes. Yeah, absolutely, no problem. Yeah, those will be going out in an email. Okay, fantastic, guys. So yeah, lots of great questions here. And if I missed your questions, guys, last chance to get those answered. So type over any questions if I missed you. I've been doing a whole lot of scrolling here, so it's easy to miss. How long does the Fast Start take to begin meeting with realtors? Yeah, you can, boy, you know what? You can meet with agents within your first 7 to 10 days, no problem. Okay, so what we're going to show you guys, the strategies to get in front of agents are very, very simple to learn and to deploy. In fact, I mean, I know I said within 7 to 10 days, but I'll tell you what, I've seen folks go through the training in the morning, and by that afternoon actually have agents like being blown out of the water going, wow, this is amazing. So, absolutely. Okay, let's see there. Can the mortgage lead machine receive leads from lead providers and auto drip? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Mark. Yeah, everything can be imported. So you can either import, or if your lead provider that you're using has an API, it will connect to an API as well. So yeah, you could just click an import button and just boom, and it'll map the leads that you're trying to import to it. Or if you use an APR, then you just again set your mapping as to, hey, what information is going to be found where, and then from that point forward, you can stream the leads into it. So just depends on what your lead provider you're using and how they feed that data to you. But yes, it most definitely has that functionality built in. All right, awesome. Okay, so we can retake. Yeah, absolutely, David. Okay, Manny. Yeah, you're going to get your first issue with that. So you get one issue of the marketing magazine or the real estate magazine publication, because it's a big magazine. I'll tell you that right now. It's very, very impressive, and a ton of work goes into that. Probably if I had to guesstimate, probably about 40 man hours or more to create that one issue. Yeah, everything from graphics. I mean, there's easily over 70 graphics just in that one issue. And then all of the articles, there's article after article after article, sidebars, side notes. And I mean, it's a very, very impressive issue. So you're going to get that. And if you want a second issue, it's something that we will also have version number 2 of that a couple months down the road with the lab. Okay, so that's part of why folks want to stick around with the Loan Officer Marketing Lab, is we have tools like that. So those are the types of things that we make available to our lab members. Okay, so definitely worth holding on to that. So throughout the year, you'll get additional, to be able to build onto that. Okay. All right. Excellent, excellent. Okay, guys. So yeah, it looks like we got most of those questions there. If I missed your question, guys, then feel free to shoot me a message, okay, cweber@averagejoelo, or you can give us a jingle. But we're going to go ahead and get this wrapped up. So just one last quick run through. This is the link for the Fast Start program, and we're beginning in February. All sorts of bonuses and benefits. We're going to help you guys get things just launched and knock it out of the park. If you're interested in our Mortgage Lead Machine automation software, that's mortgageleadmachine.com, or just give this to you here. Send an email or give us a jingle right here if you're wanting the landing page creation software that I demonstrated earlier. Mortgage Lead Machine, or I'm sorry, Mortgage Lead Pages is the landing page software, or the page creation software. Send an email here to get on that waiting list. But I'll just advise you, I've already had several people that said last time around, hey, yeah, put me on that waiting list, and we sent them an email early in the morning when it was open, and they waited until that night to try to go in and purchase it. By then, it was already closed again. When we open up the doors, it's usually you maybe have 1 to 2 hours to take action. I'm sorry, we just can't hold spots on that because we have a huge waiting list of several hundred loan officers since we limit it to only 500 members nationwide. And we do that to keep it from being saturated. That's why our pages work so well and our strategies work so well, is we keep them very exclusive. all right? If we just started putting 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 loan officers on it, you'd start bumping into other people using the same thing again and again, and that kind of dilutes the effectiveness. So if you get put on that waiting list, folks, when you get a notification from us saying, hey, it's available, I recommend that you jump on that right away, because usually you only got 1 to 2 hours before all the available slots are taken. Okay? Awesome. So thanks again, guys, for joining us. I will get this video converted and shot out via email. Okay? So keep an eye on your inbox, and you will have an email from us with the link to this replay, or you could just go to loanofficermarketinglab.com/blog, and you will find the replay there as well. Excellent, folks. So thank you for joining us, and I hope that you found benefit. If you could, leave us some feedback, loanofficermarketinglab.com/blog. Go to our blog and just leave some comments on the most recent post there, and let us know what you thought of the training. We use feedback to help dictate what topics we cover and how much folks like the training versus, hey, did you not like it? Did you love it? Did you find it useful? And we like hearing success stories or, what your feedback is. Okay? So, awesome, guys. I'll see you next time. Make it an awesome day, and thanks for joining me over these past 3 sessions. I hope you guys get tons and tons of benefit and make this year your best yet. I'll see you guys later.